Percussion Axiom TV. I'm your host, Tom Burritt, and this is episode 63. And I have been hard at work in the practice room getting ready for Percussion Galore at the Festival Institute Round Top in Round Top, Texas on April 17th. We're going to get to sort of what I'm going to be playing there a little bit in a second, but I wanted to build a little bit on the last episode first, that we're getting lots of really good interest. People are flying in from really all over the place to play the John Luther Adams Inuksukit for 99 players. We still have some openings, but you need to let us know as soon as possible, so please, we hope you can make it out for that. That evening concert will feature a brand new piece by Belinda Reynolds, who is out in the San Francisco Bay Area. Belinda is part of a composers collective, organized a series, several composers who band together for the common good of new music. Belinda has degrees from Yale and sort of a Martin Bresnik, if we have to put a term to it, a post-minimalist composer. And I ran into Belinda first about 2006 when I was doing the music for Hammers and Sticks. She wrote a wonderful piece for piano and two percussionists called Play, and has since written another piece for marimba and choir called Remembrance. And when I got some support here at UT, I asked her to write a marimba solo. And so the big premiere is coming up on April 17th in the evening concert at Festival Institute Round Top Percussion Festival. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. So today's Axiom is going to be about commissioning. And we all know commissioning is important. It's been a huge focus, really, of my creative activity over the years. And I'm getting ready to make a recording, actually, of some of the pieces that I've helped commission over the years with many others, of course. But David Lang String of Pearls. There's a new John Serry piece that we should be getting the music for, the score for, anytime soon. Possibly some of the Idle Fancies by Paul Lansky, and some of the Barber Chorales that I've yet to record, and of course this piece here, the Belinda Reynolds piece. So I've been heavily involved in commissioning. There seems to be so much action going on out there from younger players, especially getting new music written. So it's a very, very exciting time. And so it's for all those reasons, right? It's important to create new music. But I want to focus today on some pedagogical stuff, all right, that I think also comes out of, some of these commissions, especially composers who maybe aren't as familiar with the marimba as a percussion or marimbist would be. And, there's lots of history of this being beneficial, so it's nothing new in this case. We think of the John Serry Night Rhapsody, Schwantner's Velocities. I mean, all those pieces brought a whole new level of technical demand to the player. And so I want to talk about that today especially. So Belinda Reynolds' new piece is called Strands. And the best way to describe this piece and most of Belinda's music, actually, is there's definitely a minimalist sort of flair to it. But also, which is a little unusual, she brings in sort of an emotional element to the music. So throughout the piece, she often uses adjectives to describe the music. So you might, in this piece, there's a spot called climbing, secretive, determined. And so the piece actually has some emotionality to it, which, I think is fantastic and really draws my interest, but also has a lot of the minimalist traits. And that's very common of a lot of the post-minimalist composers out there. They're taking a lot of the sort of minimalistic characteristics that they sort of were heavily influenced by, but also adding other things to it. So that's probably the best way to describe Belinda's music in general. So Strands is certainly no exception to that. So when I first got this piece, to be honest, guys, I had no idea if it could even be played. Absolutely no idea. But I wanted to just take you through. I'm still 2.5 weeks out from the premiere, and I still have lots of work to do, but I wanted to show you some of the things that I've been working on. I think in a lot of ways, this piece is really transforming my playing. I can't remember a piece that I've worked on that's sort of been kicking my butt from that perspective. I sent out a tweet yesterday with it was a bad practice day. Very frustrated about how the preparation was going. But really, it's my fault. It's nobody else's fault but my own. Certainly not the instruments. Anyway, I posted an MP3 file of this not long ago up on the Tumblr site. But I'll try to put some on the Tumblr site as well, tomsburritt.tumblr.com. I'll put up some of these PDFs of these pages too, so you can kind of see it. But it's very blocky. There's lots of notes going on, lots of eighth notes moving very quickly, very vertically inclined. So that presents a problem of everything being ching, 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 ching. So I'm going to have to figure out a way, especially in the more contrapuntal sections, to make it feel like it has some flow. And so I'm going to play two quick little sections for you that show this, this problem. And really the concept that I've thought about from a pedagogical standpoint that's important is what I call my hypersticking concept. And that's simply a fancy word to describe how we're going to group notes together. Rather than make a separate motion for each, we're going to try to make one larger motion that produces several different strokes. So I'm going to play just a little bit of this letter A in the piece called Determined, and show you two examples. So if I play it just as is without the hypersticking concept, then we see something like this. Chunky that is, but there's lots of difficult things going on the left hand, sort of an Alberti sort of patterns. And so to combat that chunkiness of that, I'm going to try to use my hypersticking concept, which will mean in the right hand, one larger motion to give as many as 6 notes at a time, and then the same thing in the left hand. So you can see how I'm using larger motions and rocking back and forth to use the energy from the larger motion to give me all those notes. So we put that together and we get... So that's, hopefully if you put those back to back, you can see the difference between the two. So I've really had to develop that concept of hypersticking in this piece for sure. I wanted to show you one other section too. There are two main things that she does. That's one of them as far as texture goes. The next section, where things start moving in complete contrary motion, requires the same concept but in a little bit different way. So this is a section called Subdued, and it's about, oh, probably close to halfway, just past halfway in the piece. And here, the problem is moving in contrary motion. The left hand and right hand don't really have any correlation at all. I can't even imagine wrapping my head around memorizing this sucker. And so that makes it really important to be able to read. But what I'm doing is I'm grouping notes as much as together. So this Subdued without the hypersticking. That could get, and we're not even close to tempo, folks. That's the other thing. So to help kind of deal with this issue of it being so chook, 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 I'm going to imply my hypersticking solution, and hopefully this is what we get. So I'm going to try it one more time. It needs to go faster than that, and the only way I can see it going faster is to keep working on this issue of hypersticking. So that's the pedagogical focus of commissioning new music and really challenging your technique, and I look forward to see where this is going. Hopefully I'll do another show before the premiere, kind of talking about some other issues regarding this issue. Got some really cool shows coming up. Just been crazy, crazy busy time. We got to stop now. Today's question of the episode is this. I want to know of a specific piece, who wrote it, the name of it, that really pushed you technically. I'd love to know that. And got some incredible things coming up, you guys. I'm really super psyched about where things are going in general. It's a great time to be doing this sort of thing. So take care. Sorry, we just lost the video. But hopefully we got all that. And so I want to hear from you guys, and we'll see you next time.